FM is everywhere you need us to be. The Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and online at WGNSradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
Good morning, everyone. Johnny B here. As a trio, me, myself, and I, Brian.
Who?
You've heard that old slang. Me, myself, and I. Oh, we had had a couple. Ava and Mickey had a couple of hiccups, which happened. You know, life is life, and they're not going to be able to make it in today. But wish them well, and we'll miss them. But we're going to press on if you will allow it. Oh,
That's the sound of your cohorts there.
crickets. Now, Brian, that was really cool because I hear that in the summertime every night up in Sparta.
Oh, I bet.
I love to sit out on my porch, and I always say I'm sitting on my front porch swing listening to the crickets and the froggies sing, and they are real pronounced up there.
Well, just wait until the cicadas join them here in a few weeks.
Oh, yeah. Are they supposed to be big this year?
Yeah, pretty good year for them.
Oh, no, don't say that.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to mention, Brian, because I want you to be invited. You know, we have Johnaroo 4 on May 11th. Johnaroo 4. This is the fourth straight year we've done the Johnaroo open air free concert Saturday from 2 to 6, May 11th at my place, 710 River Hill Road, Sparta, Tennessee. And I'm offering you a personal invitation. And everybody at WGNS.
Awesome. I know you have a big time out there.
Oh, yeah. So, are you going to, we'll see now, are you going to be my color today? Is that the thing?
Ooh, I don't know about that.
But no, what is it when there's two comedians? The straight and the what? You know, like Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. Dean Martin was the straight guy, and Jerry Lewis was
a comedy guy. I don't know.
There's a term. There's a term there, though.
I know. Here's what you're getting from me.
Abbott and kind of more crickets. Well, I want to welcome everyone in, and appreciate the folks that will hang with me, even though all by my lonesome, and hope we can do this thing justice today, because we so appreciate you, WGNS listeners and sponsors and all the Facebook and other social media platform followers. I want to go back to March 6, 1905. I know you're just a baby compared to me, Brian, but I just want to know if I'm going to give this his birth name, and then I'll give a hint if you can't derive from that his professional name that he was known by and became famous by, and is now in not only the Country Music Hall of Fame, he and his group in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That sounds kind of strange, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I mean, I think you're on their ballot.
Right. Maybe. He's also in the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers. So this guy had a lot of acclaim, so he's born March 6, 1905 as James Robert Wills. Okay, here's the hint.
Okay.
The father of Texas swing.
Oh, boy. You're not helping me
Still
there.
crickets, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he became known as Bob Wills, and his group was Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys. And I'm convinced he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because he brought in this Western swing thing, which a lot of those Western swing songs can be done country, they can be done bluegrass, they can be done as pop, they can be done even as rock and roll songs. But he had this Western swing upbeat thing that kind of was a transition, almost a segue from pure old country to rock and roll. And so I'm convinced that's why he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But we'll do some songs, and I know you may have other things to do, but you might recognize it. We're going to start out with a perfect example. In 1936, he and the Texas Playboys recorded Sitting on Top of the World. And this song has been covered in every genre you can imagine. Jazz, blues, forgot to mention those earlier, jazz, blues, country, bluegrass, Western swing, and rock and roll. Now, I'm quite confident I won't stump you on this one, that you've heard of a band whose fans are all called Deadheads, right?
Yeah.
And that is the
Deadheads.
the Grateful Dead, of course.
Yeah.
They have a version of this song. And to show you how these songs can be so flexible and can be modified in so many different ways, they're so, I'll think of the word in a minute. The Grateful Dead, and also a rock group called Cream. Do you remember the group Cream?
I do not.
I didn't really remember them well until I went back and listened to a few things. But they both had versions of this. This is the crazy part. The Grateful Dead's version it's beyond upbeat. They play it at 252 beats per minute, this song, Sitting on Top of the World. Cream, another rock and roll, plays it at 44 beats per minute.
Well, you got both ends of the spectrum there.
You don't. And then Bob Wills, I'll say Bob Wills is probably kind of in between, but it's with that Western swing demands a fiddle. For first of all, you've got to have a fiddle to do Western swing. So.
I forgot mine.
I know. So, and Bob Wills' group was comprised of he and another fiddler, 2 guitar players, a incredible left-handed steel guitar player, and a couple more I forget. But man, we'll start out with this one, Sitting on Top of the World, from Bob Wills, 1936. God rest his soul. Passed away, he was only 70. Sitting on Top of the World. Some of you folks remember it. Was in the spring, one sunny day, my sweetheart left me, Lord, she went away, and now she's gone, and I don't worry, Lord, I'm sitting on top of the world. She called me up down in El Paso, she said, come back, Daddy, oh, I need you so. And now she's gone, and I don't worry, Lord, I'm sitting on top of the world. I'm going up now. If you don't like my peaches, don't you shake my tree, then get out of my orchard, let my peaches be. And now she's gone, and I don't worry, Lord, I'm sitting on top of the world. Don't you come here running, holding out your hand. I'm gonna get me a woman like you got your man. And now she's gone, and I don't worry, Lord, I'm sitting on top of the world. It was in the spring, yeah, one sunny day, my sweetheart left me, Lord, she went away, and now she's gone, and I don't worry, Lord, I'm sitting on top of the world. Lord, I'm sitting on top of the world, oh yeah. Lord, I'm sitting on top of the world. Aha! That aha, folks, was a Bob Wills trademark. I don't know if there's a single song they ever recorded that somewhere in there he doesn't have that aha. And it just became his standard thing. And this, of course, it's a toss-up between this and the other song that will be our last Bob Wills song this morning, Lord willing. But let me tell you a little bit about him, as I mentioned to Brian, because this signature song from 1938, he not only recorded with the Playboys, he wrote it. And it's been recorded since and covered since by more artists than you can count. But he was born March 6, 1905 in Kossi, K-O-S-E, Texas. God rest his soul. Bob Wills passed away on May 13, 1975. But as I mentioned, he was a Western swing musician, songwriter, and band leader, but he is called the King of Western Swing. And it was Spade Cooley who gave him that moniker. He formed the Playboys in 1934, and they went on to have many publishers, including MGM and Columbia. And it was in the 50s, though, that he struggled with poor health and tenuous finances, but he continued to perform a lot. But here comes this rise in rock and roll, which caused such a decline in the popularity of Western swing at the time that he disbanded the Playboys, but did continue to play solo. As I mentioned, though, the Country Music Hall of Fame inducted Wills in 1968. The Texas State Legislature honored him for his contribution to American music. In 72, he was inducted into the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers. And then, in 1999, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inducted Bob Wills and his Texas Playboys. He did record an album with a huge fan of his, Merle Haggard, in 73. It was right after that he suffered 2 strokes and then eventually became totally comatose for the last 2 months of his life and died in a Fort Worth nursing home in 1975 at only age 70. But God rest his soul. Let's bring you a song that if you weren't familiar with Sitting on Top of the World, you got to be familiar with this one. Bob Wills' classic. His composition, his recording, with the Texas Playboys, of course. Deep within my heart lies a melody, a song of old San Antone, where in dreams I live with a memory beneath the stars all alone. It was there I found it beside the Alamo, enchantment strange as the blue up above, a moonlit past that only she would know, still bears my broken song of love. Moon in all your splendor, know only my heart, call back my rose, rose of San Antone. Lips are sweet and tender, like petals falling apart. Speak once again of my love, my own. Broken song, empty words I know, still live in my heart all alone. For that moonlit past by the Alamo, and rose, my rose of San Antone. Moon in all your splendor, know only my heart, call back my rose, rose of San Antone. Lips are sweet and tender, like petals falling apart. Speak once again of my love, my own. Broken song, empty words I know, still live in my heart all alone. For that moonlit past by the Alamo, and rose, my rose of San Antone. And rose, my rose of San Antone, yeah. And rose, my rose of San Antone. Wow. If that ain't a classic, there ain't no such a thing, folks. And this was a traditional song that Bob Wills brought back to life in 1939, and he did some adapting, as all songwriters will do, and really put it up to a western swing beat with a lot of heavy on the fiddles, but also heavy on the lead guitar and steel guitar, and it's a really upbeat, peppy song, Ida Red. But it's one of those traditional songs, meaning 2 things. What's the 2 rules of traditional song, or the 2 characteristics, 2 criteria? 1, no one knows the original author. There's a lot of different claims of authorship usually, but it derives from many times from a foreign land in terms of American traditional songs, and is adapted and modified and revised. And the other thing is there's many, many, many different versions, many alterations of the song, many alternative versions of it. And so those are the 2 components. Don't know originally how it originated or who actually originated it, but it's been adapted by a lot of people. And but Bob Wills did a great job and had a good country hit. In 1939, he and his Texas Playboys with Ida Red. But it's got one particular lyric line in here that you will recognize, I promise you folks, even if you've never heard this song, and it's interesting how some of the phrases that we use that have become commonplace and originated in a song have become like a colloquialism. That's the word I was searching for. And you'll hear a verse in here that matter of fact, I think you heard one in Sitting on Top of the World. How about that line, if you don't like my peaches, don't you shake my tree, right? Well, there's another one similar to that in this song, Ida Red. Bob Wills and his Texas Playboys, 1939. Lights in the parlor, fires in the grate, crack on the mantel says it's getting late. Curtains on the window, snowy white, the parlor's pleasant on a Sunday night. Ida Red, I'm plumb fooled by Ida Red, yeah. Lamp on the table, picture on the wall, there's plenty of sofa, and that's not all. If I'm not mistaken, and I'm sure I'm right, there's somebody else in the parlor tonight. Ida Red, I'm a plumb fool by Ida Red. Here we go now, listen up. Chicken in the bread pan, pecking out dough, Granny, where your dog bite, no child, no. Hurry up, boys, don't you fool around. Grab your partner and truck on down, yeah. Ida Red, I'm plumb fooled by Ida Red. Ida Red, I'm a plumb fool by Ida Red. Lights are burning dim, lights are getting low. Let me get that in. Lights burning dim, fire's getting low. Somebody says it's time to go. I hear the whisper gentle, thunder and light. Don't forget to come next Sunday night. Ida Red, I'm a plumb fool by Ida Red. My old missus swore to me when she died she'd set me free. She lived so long her head got bald, then she took a notion not to die at all, yeah. Ida Red, I'm a plumb fool by Ida Red. Ida Red, I'm a plumb fool by Ida Red. Ida Red, I'm a plumb fool by Ida Red. Ida Red, I'm a plumb fool by Ida Red. Wow. And folks, as I always do, or try to, encourage you to go back, Google those titles with Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys. It'll take you to YouTube, or you can just go straight to YouTube and hit the little question mark up there, and then put in these names of these songs and Bob Wills, and you'll hear his original versions of this. You'll see videos of him and the Texas Playboys, and a left-handed fiddle player and a left-handed steel guitar player, and I think maybe even a left-handed guitar player. But Bob Wills played his fiddle right-handed, and but God rest his soul. This is another song recorded by multiple artists, and it was 1941 that Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys recorded their version of this song. But again, going all the way back to comparing it to like Sitting on Top of the World, it's a song that has been adapted into many genres, not just Texas swing as Bob Wills did it, because it was in other genres before then. Country, bluegrass, blues, jazz, and yes, even rock and roll, because Bob Dylan has recorded a version of this song. He did what some more modern artists did. The original title of this song, and although it's said different ways in the lyrics, it's primarily said as Corrine Corina, but it's often called and titled Corina Corina, which is what Bob Dylan's version is titled. But we're going to do it like Bob Wills, not like Bob Wills, but more of a Bob Wills flavor to it. And we'll see if this will bring back memories to you. 1941, Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys. I love Corina, tell the world I do. I love Corina, tell the world I do. just a little old loving, let your heart be true. Corrine, Corina, where you been so long? Corrine, Corina, where you been so long? Ain't had no loving since you've been gone. I love Corina, tell the world I do. I love Corina, tell the world I do. Just a little more loving, let your heart be true. Corrine, Corina, where'd you stay last night? Corrine, Corina, where'd you stay last night? Came home this morning, the sun was shining bright. I love Corina, tell the world I do. I love Corina, tell the world I do. Just a little more loving, let your heart be true. I left Corina, why do you cross the sea? Oh me, aha, I left Corina, way across the sea. If you see Corina, send her home to me. I love Corina, tell the world I do. I love Corina, tell the world I do. Just a little more loving, let your heart be true. Goodbye, Corina, it's fare thee well. What's that about? Goodbye, Corina, it's a fare thee well. When I get back home, Bob, well, you never can tell. Goodbye, Corina, I gotta do that right. It's a fare thee well. Goodbye, Corina, it's a fare thee well. When I get back home, babe, well, you never can tell. And I left Corina way across the sea. I left Corina way across the sea. Aha! If you see Corina, send her home to me. Got the verses in order now. I love Corina, tell the world I do. I love Corina, tell the world I do. Just a little more loving, let your heart be true. One more time. I love Corina, tell the world I do. I love Corina, tell the world I do. If you see Corina, I'm telling the truth. I lied one more time. I love Corina, tell the world I do. Aha! I love Corina, tell the world I do. Just a little more loving, aha, let your heart be true. Just a little more loving, let your heart be true. Ah. But I think you'd enjoy going and listening to Bob Wills' version and then going over to hear Bob Dylan. I love the variety that artists can bring to songs, and I love songs that are susceptible to, capable of that variety, where there can be altered into all kind of different genres and tempos. And Will, looks like Brian is back with me. He's not forsaken me totally. He's only coming here with avarice and greed, though. So what we will do is break away here, folks, and Lord willing, be back right after hearing from our wonderful, loyal sponsors.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Rayburn Insurance in Smyrna.
Come see me, Rick Hall, at Rayburn Insurance in downtown Smyrna today.
Online at rayburn.net.
Rutherford County is one of the fastest growing communities in Tennessee.
This is Mike Klassen, the General Manager at Middle Point Landfill. As a Class 1 landfill, Middle Point accepts non-hazardous municipal solid waste, approved special waste, and commercial waste. We have served this region for 2 decades, providing free disposal to all Rutherford County residents and low-cost disposal to Rutherford County businesses. Learn more at middlepointlandfill.com. For public services, we are sustainability in action.
French's Shoes and Boots, your hometown store for boots, shoes, apparel, and more, is family owned, and you'll always find friendly service with the lowest prices on the best brands. We know there's nothing worse than a boot that doesn't fit right, so come see us on South Church Street to get a great fitting on high-quality footwear. We've been outfitting Tennessee since 1903.
It makes good sense to shop at French's. French's Shoes and Boots.
1837 South Church Street in Murfreesboro.
Enjoy life at Adams Place.
I had to argue with them about whether or not I'm going to play bridge because I hadn't played it for about 25 years, but they still want me to do it, so that was very nice. My name is Carrie Shannon. There's so many things that you can do to help us keep feeling younger at Adams Place. I'm glad we made this choice.
I'm Terry Deal. Call me about Adams Place. Phone 615-904-9111. Memorial Boulevard, across from Walmart.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by the law offices of John Day and AmeriCare Pest Control.
This is a paid legal ad.
Hi, this is John Day of the Law Offices of John Day. I've lived and worked as a lawyer in Middle Tennessee for over 30 years, and to me, every single day has been an honor. That's why our firm is so involved with community programs like bicycle helmet giveaways and our Safe Ride Home program. At the law offices of John Day, we're not just looking to make donations. We want to make a difference in the community we hold so dear. And if you're ever injured, know that we are here for you too.
WGNS encourages you to shop local. Let's patronize those local family businesses. Or would you like to learn more about our community? Well, you need to be over at the one-room Ransom Schoolhouse this Saturday. Members of the Rutherford County Historical Society will be there, and they'll be answering your questions about local history. It's all free, including the coffee and donuts. Ransom School is at 717 North Academy Street. Did you realize there are 2 grief support groups? One meets on Wednesday mornings at 10 at the St. Clair Street Senior Center, and the other is a walking grief support group. They meet Thursday morning at 9:30, right there at the pavilion at Oakland's Park, next to Oakland's Mansion. Again, the one on Wednesday morning at 10 at the St. Clair Street Senior Center, and then Thursday morning at 9:30 in the pavilion at Oakland's Park. And they're both free. Don't forget, this is the weekend we spring forward and change to daylight savings time. That's this weekend. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford weather.
Cloudy skies with rain likely for this afternoon, highs in the upper 60s. Then showers and even some thunderstorms tonight will drop back to a low of 53. I'm meteorologist Michael Caro, News Radio WGNS. Currently 58 degrees.
WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. As a member of MTE, you have access to educational resources to help you tailor energy use to your lifestyle. Interested in electric vehicles? MTE offers incentives to learn about EVs and connect with others who share your interest.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
And we're back. Thank you, Brian. And thanks for that tip. But I've already forgotten the title. Give it to me again, that series.
Death and Other Details.
Death. I'm going to implant this now. Death and Other Details. Okay. And it's on Hulu.
That is, yes.
All
it's
right.
on Hulu. You were telling me a good movie to see.
I was telling you to see No Country for Old Men.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm expecting your review next week.
Oh, okay. Homework.
Yes, homework.
Tough teacher.
Yeah, I want you to, and really you can make it. I can simplify it, make it an easier assignment. Just give me your review of the villain, and if you think he was one of the best all-time villain, this actor played one of the best villain roles of all time.
Okay.
Just tell me what you think about it.
I'll do that.
And you can even add in whether he kind of scared you a little bit. I mean,
I don't like spoopy movies.
Just like, sometimes you're watching a movie and you just kind of go, do you ever do that? And you just kind of get a little shudder. You kind of go, oh, I didn't like that.
That's usually when I turn it off.
I like it.
There's saws coming out, or characters in mask.
Yeah, but boy, okay. Brian, I will bet even you have heard this song. 1945 adaptation, another traditional song, folks. What's the two rules? Don't know its origin or originator, and there's a million versions of it, and this one falls right in there. But Bob Wills did he really varied this song and changed it a lot in 1945. Well, I got a gal that I adore, little Liza Jane, way down south in Baltimore, little Liza Jane. Oh, Eliza, little Liza Jane. Oh, Eliza, little Liza Jane. Oh, yeah. Aha. Down where she lives, the posies grow, little Liza Jane. Chickens round the kitchen door, little Liza Jane. Oh, Eliza, little Liza Jane. Oh, Eliza, little Liza Jane. Oh, yeah. Aha. I don't care how far we roam, little Liza Jane. Where she's at is home sweet home, little Liza Jane. Oh, Eliza, little Liza Jane. Oh, Eliza, little Liza Jane. I kind of like that inflection. Let's see if we can do that again. I got a gal that I adore, little Liza Jane. Way down south in Baltimore, little Liza Jane. Oh, Eliza, little Liza Jane. Oh, Eliza, little Liza Jane. I just did a Johnny B variation. I like that. Oh, Eliza, little Liza Jane. Oh, Eliza, little Liza Jane. Wow. All right. Love those old standards. And I'd be willing to bet, I'm going to folks do a little tuning if you would allow me to do that ancient Chinese song, Tu Ning, which I play because I care. There we go. But I'm willing to bet some of you listeners or viewers on Facebook Live or YouTube or any of those other live mediums will have heard of this song. I had forgotten that I had, and I really enjoyed relearning it because Bob Wills and his Texas Playboys had a number 3 country hit in 1946 with this song, so that'll tell you something about how they adapted it to Western swing. And this song was originally written by Fred Rose as just a pure country song. The same Fred Rose who partnered with Roy Acuff to form that hugely successful and very first music publishing company in Nashville, Acuff Rose. And so Fred Rose was quite the musician and songwriter and composer back in the day, and is how he originally connected with Roy Acuff, of course. And one of these days we may feature just Fred Rose songs, because you'll be surprised at songs that you'll be very familiar with, and I'm willing to venture to say that you're not aware that they were composed originally by Fred Rose. But let's do this song, Roly Poly. All right. Roly-poly, eating corn and taters, hungry every minute of the day. Roly-poly, gnawing on a biscuit, long as he can chew, he'll be okay. He can eat an apple pie and never even bat an eye. He likes everything from soup to hay. Oh, roly-poly, daddy's little fatty, bet he's gonna be a man someday. Aha! A roly-poly, scrambled eggs for breakfast, bread and jelly 20 times a day. Roly-poly eats a hearty dinner. It takes a lot of strength to run and play. He pulls up weeds and does the chores. He runs both ways to all the stores. He works up an appetite that way. Ah, roly-poly, daddy's little fatty. Bet he's gonna be a man someday. Yeah, roly-poly, daddy's little fatty. Bet he's gonna be a man someday. Ah, I'll bet he's gonna be a man someday. Ah, I'll bet he's gonna be a man someday. Roly-poly. Well, I tell you, I hope that some of y'all, at least one or two of you, will get the same joy I do by going back and hearing. I get the joy of resurrecting these old songs, I call it, and playing them and listening to them. But hopefully you'll get the similar kind of joy by hearing some of these songs that you maybe are only stored in the deep recesses of your mind and memory, but when they come back, they put a smile on your face and or a twinkle in your eye and or a little joy in your heart. So I mentioned earlier that, Bob, there was a toss-up on my own personal scoreboard of, and I'm going to have to tune here, so I'm changing. We're going to play this song in the key of F. But you'd have to say it's a toss-up. Well, you do not have to. You don't have to do anything. Huh. I rebuke myself. I consider it a toss-up of whether San Antonio Rose or this song. Oh, I see what I'm doing. I'm turning the wrong key. Would be considered Bob Wills. Oh, I've got that one way off. Because that's the one I was trying to tune the string below it. Of whether this or San Antonio Rose would be called Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys, although Bob Wills is the writer of this song, along with his father, John Wills. And but also covered by many, many people, including Patsy Cline, which we're going to talk about here in just a minute. Boy, this string's giving me trouble there, folks. I apologize. It's tricky getting this thing tuned with that capo, stretching those strings. But we're going to have to go ahead. Here we go. $1950. Ray Price had a huge hit on this in 1980. It was number 3 on the country charts, and then many other folks have covered it. But you'll probably remember Ray Price's version before you remember Bob Wills, although it was Bob Wills who wrote it with his dad, John Wills, and was the first to record it. He and the Texas Playboys, 1950. So, although, I don't know, I'm trying to think, the Texas Playboys, he may have no. That was later in the 50s. This was 1950. Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys were still together. As I look at the letters that you wrote to me, it's you that I am thinking of. as I read the lines that to me were so dear. I remember our faded love. I miss you, darling, more and more every day, as heaven would miss the stars above. And with every heartbeat I still think of you and remember our faded love. As I think of the past and all the pleasures we had, as I watched the mating of the dove, it was in the springtime that you said goodbye. I remember our faded love. I miss you, darling, more and more every day, as heaven would miss the stars above. And with every heartbeat I still think of you and remember our faded love. I miss you, darling, more and more every day, as heaven would miss the stars above. And with every heartbeat I still think of you and remember our faded love. I remember our faded love. Incredible. That is a standard. That is a standard. Covered by everybody. Everybody. But got to take that capo off, folks, which renders another. See what's happened? Stretch that E string out. It's so flat. It's flatter than a pancake. And the B string is pretty close. Just a little tweaking. The G. Uh-oh. A tad flat, not bad. The D, whoops, yep, just a tad flat. The D looks dead on. The A looks dead on. And the low E, this is the test. Flat. Capo seems to stretch the strings on either end of the spectrum. The first string and the sixth the most. Both the key of E, though. There we go. So, folks, this was we're going to go back to March 5th, which was a day this past week, of course, March 5th, 2024. But we're going to go back. It was an incredible day, an incredibly sad, tragic day in country music history. I liken it to the plane crash that killed Buddy Holly, and the Big Bopper and Richie Valens, and which inspired Bob McLean's song American Pie and coined that incredible phrase, the day the music died. Well, this could easily have been called the same thing, at least in terms of country music, because on March 5th, 1963, near Camden, Tennessee, that Piper single-engine aircraft crashed that killed Patsy Cline, Cowboy Copas, Hawkshaw Hawkins, and the pilot, of course, and Patsy Cline's manager, Randy Hughes, who was not instrument rated, and made the same tragic mistake Jim Reeves did, who was not instrument rated when he was flying his own aircraft that crashed and took his life and his manager. Flew into a thunderstorm, and The average life expectancy of a pilot, they say, when they enter a thunderstorm is very low, very fast, very short. But Patsy Cline was born Virginia Patterson Hensley, September the 8th, 1932, and of course passed away only at age 30 on March 5th, 1963. She was born in Virginia. She was known as Jenny all the way up until she married her first husband, Gerald Klein, and he suggested that she needed a different name that sounded more stage professional or whatever, and so she kept the Klein name even after they divorced, and she married Charlie Dick, and she was married to the rest of her life. She kept the Klein name because it had already stuck by then, and she took the name Patsy, and that was a great choice. And want to just pay tribute to her and try to pay tribute to also Cowboy Copas and also Hawkshaw Hawkins. Hawkshaw Hawkins, we're going to take another break here, but let me just leave you with this. Hawkshaw Hawkins was married to Jean Shepherd at the time, and she was 9 months pregnant when this crash occurred. And Hawkshaw Hawkins Jr., his son, was born 1 month later, almost to the day after this crash. And we'll also tell you one other thing about him when we come right back. Thank you, folks.
Does your home need freshening up? Let our family at Farrah Construction help you. We do painting, new flooring, anything that you need. If you can dream it, Farrah Construction can turn it into reality. Farrah Construction offers high-quality craftsmanship, quick response, and attention to detail. For home restoration at a price you can afford, Farrah Construction can get the job done no matter how big or small it is. I'm Ron Hall. Shop local. Let our family business help you. Farrah Construction Company.
This is Kim Dunaway from Sunshine Nutrition Center. You hear me on Monday mornings at 7:20 talking about how to lead a healthier lifestyle. We carry supplements, personal care, and grocery items at both our Murfreesboro and Smyrna locations, family owned and operated since 1989.
Here at Bud's Tire, we make buying Michelin tires simpler. I'm Allison Mitchell with Bud's Tire Pros. We offer a straightforward approach to service, including nationwide warranties with every purchase. Stop in today to see our full lineup of Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. For whatever you drive, Michelin and BF Goodrich have a tire to fit any need. Bud's Tire Pros, hassle-free, guaranteed. We're located on East Main Street, exactly 3 miles from the town square, 1 mile past Rutherford Boulevard. Visit us online at budstireprostn.com.
Learn to make money 5 ways with rental real estate. Double your money with apartments. And get your map to financial freedom. And that map starts with a free workshop. Sign up now at lifestylesunlimited.com. Click on the Join Free Workshop tab and attend online or in person. That's lifestylesunlimited.com. lifestylesunlimited.com. Again, that's lifestylesunlimited.com. Limited seating, unlimited potential.
This is Pastor Nikki Ajapong, lead pastor of Holy Hill Chapel in Murfreesboro.
Here are sermons on WGNS every Sunday night at 7:30.
Extending the love of God.
Reviving the community at holyhillchapeltn.org.
Hi, this is Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. You might know me as the voice of the Blue Raiders, but I want to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Whether you're buying or selling, it's time to choose Chip. Do you have a growing family and need to upsize? Are you an empty nester now and need to downsize? Are you thinking of selling your current home but just worried you can't find something else? Well, it's time to choose Chip. I'm looking to be your trusted advisor in real estate. I'm Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
And we're back. I'm sorry. Brown, you didn't cue me.
Well, I did that, but I guess you were in La La Land.
I was in La La Land. I'll tell you what I was looking at before you leave me here again and forsake me again. I wanted to tell this interesting thing I didn't learn about Patsy Cline until this week when I was showcasing her early on my Facebook page on March the 5th, as a matter of fact. When she was 13, she was hospitalized with a severe throat infection and rheumatic fever. Her heart even stopped once, and they put her in an oxygen tent. And it took months for her to recover, and then she had to be, treated and pampered and and taken care of by her mother even after she got home. But she said the strangest thing about that illness was this. I'm just going to read her words. She said, I developed a terrible throat infection and my heart even stopped beating. The doctor put me in an oxygen tent. You might say it was my return to the living after several days that launched me as a singer. The fever somehow affected my throat, and when I recovered, I had this booming voice I'd never had in my life before, just like Kate Smith. And we all remember Patsy Cline had a powerful voice.
Yeah.
And she attributes it back to her rheumatic fever and throat infection when she was 13 years of age. And
Isn't that wild?
That is when she started singing, first in church choirs, and then, like so many artists, local radio stations, and the rest is history. So
one of those gone too soon.
Oh, man. 30 years age. Only 30. Cowboy Copas was 49 and Hawkshaw Hawkins was 41. And very sad thing about Hawkshaw Hawkins, he not only never got to see his son, just 3 days before, on March the 2nd, 3 days before the plane crash, he released his one and only #1 hit called Lonesome 77203. So he never got to enjoy the only #1 hit of his career, or even his child. That's just sad to me. Wow. Tears me up. But we'll do one for each year at least, Lord willing. I go out walking after midnight, out in the moonlight, just like we used to do. I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you. I walk for miles along the highway. Well, that's just my way of saying I love you. I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you. I stopped to see a weeping willow crying on his pillow. Maybe he's crying for me. And as the skies turn gloomy, night winds whisper to me, I'm lonesome as I can be. I go out walking after midnight, out in the moonlight, just hoping you may be somewhere a-walking after midnight, searching for me. I stopped to see a weeping willow crying on his pillow. Maybe he's crying for me. And as the skies turn gloomy, the night winds whisper to me, I'm lonesome as I can be. I go out walking after midnight, out in the moonlight, yeah, just hoping you may be somewhere a-walking after midnight, searching for me. Somewhere a-walking after midnight, searching for me. Oh boy, she had so many incredible songs and such a short career. But I'm going to skip over to the song I mentioned of Hawkshaw Hawkins, song written by Justin Tubb. Let me get this chord out of the way here. Oh, that feels better. Ernest Tubb's son wrote this song, and Hawkshaw Hawkins, as I said, recorded it in '63, and it was released on March 2nd, '63, and went to #1 on the country charts. His last recording and his only #1. And he did not get to enjoy that success because he died 3 days later on March 5th, 1963, in that terrible plane crash. I know some of you folks listening right now and some of you folks watching on social media remember that day yourself. I know almost all of you remember the event. You might not remember the exact day, but here we go. Hawkshaw Hawkins, 1963. Had our number changed today, although I hated to. But each time the phone would ring, they'd want to speak to you. And it hurts to tell them you're not here with me. maybe now, oh, telephone will let me be. It's not in the book, so you had better write it down. Just in case your love for me should ever come around. You might want to call and break the news to me. Well, just call Lonesome 77203. I keep the telephone beside me all the time, hoping you might want to call and say you've changed your mind. If you do, then darling, you know where I'll be. I'm at Lonesome 77203. You're the only one I'm giving our new number to. So now if the telephone should ring, I'll know it's you. If you ever long for love that used to be, just call Lonesome 77203. Yes, I'm at Lonesome 77203. And there you have it. Hawk Show Hawkins' one and only, number one. And we're going to close out here with this tune, which is a gospel tune. Cowboy Copas only had one number one hit in his life, too, but he got to enjoy it while he was alive. The song he wrote called Alabama. We don't have time for that today. I thought it more appropriate to close out with this song, which is attributed to him all the way back in '61, 2 years before his passing in that terrible crash. But many of you folks will know this song from Alan Jackson. There's an incredible track on his gospel album, and he did an incredible job on it. But we owe the song to Cowboy Copas, believe it or not. It'll become as news to many of you, I'm sure. Wherever he leads, I'll go. Take up thy cross and follow me. I heard, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change the key, folks. That ain't right. I apologize. Can't read my own handwriting, my own notes. Take up thy cross and follow me. I heard my master say, I gave my life to ransom thee. Surrender your all today. Wherever he leads, I'll go. Wherever he leads, I'll go. I'll follow my Christ who loves me so. Wherever he leads, I'll go. He drew me closer to his side. I sought his will to know, and in that will I now abide. Wherever he leads, I'll go. Wherever he leads, I'll go. Wherever he leads, I'll go. I'll follow my Christ who loves me so. Wherever he leads, I'll go. Wherever he leads, I'll go. Wherever he leads, I'll go. I'll follow my Christ who loves me so. Wherever he leads, I'll go. Wherever he leads, I'll go. Thank you, folks. Brian, thank you for having me on. We appreciate it. Thanks to all you wonderful WGNS loyal listeners and sponsors and all you kind followers on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Homodulation. Thank you. Lord willing, we'll see you next week.